welcome to Reality After Show coverage of House of Villains Season 2, Episode Several, as we like to say on Survivor, but it would be Episode 7. I'm Jonny Fairplay, joined as always by Jenn Hoffman. Hello, Jenn Hoffman.
Hi.
Oh man, we're back in the villain's lair. It's more excitement. When we last left off, we lost Camilla, and it is time to reassess where we are in the pecking order of things. We will crown a new supervillain. That supervillain, no spoilers till later in the episode, but if it happens to be Candy, Wes is gone, and there's nothing that Candy can do, nothing Wes can do about it.
Yes. How do we want to do this? Do we want to go in order like we usually do, or talk?
Sure.
So I, at first, was like, this episode's a little more slow moving, whatever. But then I went through it with like a fine tooth comb and rewatched it, and there's a lot of like intricacy and interesting things, personality traits, quirks, word said things that I missed. So this one I actually watched twice.
Wow.
Sometimes you watch it twice because you're like, oh my God, did that really happen? Like, we've had some really explosive episodes. I rewatched you in season 1 of the bananas thing, even though I heard your side of the story and heard whatever. I was like, how is he interpreting this? So like, that's when you watch it because you're really trying to figure something out or something super engaging. On this one, I was like, it's such a more subtle episode in a way. Even though we have our drama, we have our fighting, there's villainry,
Yeah.
a lot of stuff actually happens in this one.
Sure.
That's really fun. But I was like, I don't know, I went a little bit for subtext. So do you want to like go in order and we can
go in order? I do better because I'll leave out stuff from my notes.
Too. Good.
Okay.
All
right. Well, it's day 10. It's 10:14 p.m. and they are coming out of the stronghold, and holy moly, was that something. And then it's time to wake up the next day, and we see Safari, Wes, and Jesse, and you may know them collectively as three members of the cast of House of Villains Season 2, or you may know them from their new show, The Real House Husbands of the Valley.
Yes. Jesse's sort of included in that.
I had to go back and make sure that he was in the frame to confirm.
Okay, because you know what? That's what I'm saying. There's so much subtlety to this, like this production and the editing and what they chose to keep in, because it's like, yeah, he's subtly in the frame, and we'll get to another discussion later where he's not really there when house husbands are discussed, and also we see some potential. Because Jesse's been very quiet for a very outgoing, outspoken person.
The first 7 episodes.
Yeah, and when we interviewed Richard Hatch, he said he wasn't being quiet. I think maybe he wasn't with Hatch there, but I think this comes into play a little bit. So we can keep going, but I do want to mention that we see the 3 of these people together, and they are like very much seemingly like an alliance that Wes is seen as the leader as. Well, Safari thinks also he's the secret leader of, and I am thinking Jesse also thinks that he's either the secret leader or will be a secret betrayer of. I would just like to set that up for my.
Yeah, no, I think all that's happening. Peek behind the curtain. Everyone, the majority of the cast actually watched season 1 coming into season 2. Safari watched the season 1 twice, so he was doing his best Jenn Hoffman impression.
Nerd like me, taking notes. Yeah. I mean, this is like. That's very apprentice-y, so good for you, Safari. Some points.
Yeah, and once again, like, to be the kind of Bobby Lights of the season just based on previous show, this is very un-Bobby Lights of him.
Well, yeah, it's funny because if you're not naturally Bobby Lights, which is going to be unaware even what show he was put on, like he doesn't even know. He's just like, sure, give me the thing, I'll take the money, and then I will be the most outrageous character ever. You know, he didn't know what House of Villains was. He was probably like, sounds great.
Yeah.
And then he's an actor, performer. Like performers, he's an excellent performer. So he didn't need to read up and think about what his character was, because he was just going to show up and then turn on Bobby Lights.
Yeah.
Safari probably went back and watched it to figure out like how to play and who I should be. That's different than being naturally Bobby Lights.
Yeah. I've talked about the House of Villains season 1 friend text group thing that we have, and on November 11th, it was Corinne's birthday, and so I sent a happy birthday message to Corinne in the group, and and others, of course, followed saying happy birthday, and I was like, but also in the news, in my Threads thread, was a Bobby Lights post, and Bobby Lights was promoting his new line of poppers. And I was like, I did not have Bobby Lights branded poppers in my on my 2024 bingo card.
I didn't realize you could admit that they were poppers, because you have to like go buy them as like VCR cleaner or whatever. Not that I've ever done them or anything.
These are advertised as leather furniture scent.
Got it. Totally understood now.
Yes.
Because I was like, you can't call them poppers. You have to call them like a VCR thing, or that would make sense. Perfect.
Yeah.
Like,
yes, his are
that's smart.
Yes. So and it is Bobby Lights to the Bobby Lights degree. So
yes.
I once again did not have that on my bingo card for 2024. So yeah, we see Safari, Wes, Jesse, Victoria, Teresa, and Larsa all having breakfast because New York is sleeping. And Larsa is not here for Victoria. And Victoria chooses to leave the dinner table because it's too much. And Larsa did absolutely nothing but call her a piece of shit. But otherwise, pretty much nothing.
Yeah, Larsa's like, oh, I don't say anything. What are you talking about? I haven't started any fights. And then they cut to like an actual clip of Larsa just like shredding her.
Yeah. So, all right. Teresa doesn't like being in the middle. And that's kind of been Teresa's stance this whole time. She really isn't playing the game yet. We'll see if that changes.
But she does at least say, I like her. Like, I thought that was, even though she's doing it in a quiet way, it's ballsy. Well, Larsa just put you up and is sitting there saying, I hate this person, to not agree and say, I like her.
Yes.
So I appreciated that.
Well, Teresa likes her until she gives her a reason not to. And I'm just like, didn't she out you to New York last episode, but that wasn't enough? Okay, I'm good with it.
Yeah, I almost felt like, well, then New York did her whole thing where she actually created TV, and we can get to the explanation later. But it was lucky for Victoria that New York got so extra and was present there for season 1, so knew how to be an extra villain for season 2. That now Teresa's so mad at New York that she doesn't remember that Victoria sold her out, basically.
Yes. So Candy comes down and calls out Safari on the vote because we did see Safari promise his Black Queen Camilla that he was going to keep her in the house.
And the vote's 4-2, so we don't know who the other person is, although they give us a hint when they show Safari whispering to Camilla that he's got her back, but we don't know if that's true.
Yeah, we don't know. So, Candy does reveal that Wes is indeed her target. And Wes is like, you know what? Even though I'm getting rid of all of Candy's friends, Candy is literally ushering her friends into the jury. And I'm taking note of this.
Yes. I didn't understand that because I was like, wait a minute. If all of Candy's friends are gone, then how are Candy's friends on the jury? And then I was like, oh, because everybody in the end votes, right? Or no? What happens? I forgot now.
Everyone in the end votes, and even though Candy's on the wrong side of the vote every single time,
everyone
she can go to each of them and go, "Hey, I didn't vote for you. Hey, I didn't vote for you."
No, that makes sense. Right now, if it was right now, Candy would win House of Villains because all of her friends are the jury stacked. Okay,
yeah. But if Candy continues this trend of doing that, though, even though if Candy can survive,
yes. It's very smart.
And it's on the wrong side of the House vote, but on the correct side of the person going through the wall, and that's the last thing they remember. It's not a bad strategy.
Yeah, I got it. I had for a second forgotten if everybody votes or if only some people vote. So that's what
everybody as long as they show up.
Okay. That, yes.
The Bobby Lights rule.
Yeah.
You actually have to be present. So Larsa is trying to get New York and Teresa back together, and I feel marginally successful. New
Very
York only
cheap.
said the Louis stuff because it was fun.
So this is what was great about it. Okay, so hold on. I actually did a whole page of
So
breaking this down. Like,
please,
yeah, I'm like, the funniest part about this is that, let me get to it. Because I wrote down some very specific notes about it.
sure.
Where did we go? It's funny because so Larsa wants to mend their relationship, and New York, Teresa's like, well, she hurt someone I love, and New York being like, when she said, "Oh, I did it because it's not true. I thought it was fun," is code for I did it for good TV,
Yeah,
Teresa, without saying it. Because if
yeah,
she says that the line might get cut, she can't. It's like she's like trying to get Teresa to play a game of like tennis or at least ping pong with her, and Teresa's not getting it. I think New York's clearly spelling it out. So it's like New York kind of wins this either way, because either New York's becoming
yeah.
even more of a character and it's ridiculous, and also Teresa's not picking up what she's putting down, and it doesn't matter to New York if she does or she doesn't.
Yeah, and New York is smart enough not to say, "Hey, I'm just trying to make good TV." You
Yeah,
can't, like, if you say I'm trying to make good TV, that doesn't make TV.
I actually yelled out like the word, "She's doing it for TV. Read between the
Right.
lines, Teresa." Like I was like yelling at the
Yeah,
TV,
no,
like,
Teresa. Yeah,
but
Teresa
I'm like,
does
you're
not
a
play that
housewife.
game.
Like that's all you do is create scenarios for these kind of things, and someone's like setting you up. It's basically someone's giving you like a layup, and you're not. I'm like,
Yeah,
Teresa.
yeah, it's the alley oop, and
Yep.
and you're there to dunk it, and Teresa's like, "I'm not playing basketball." It's like,
Yeah.
yeah, but we're metaphorically playing basketball.
Yeah. Yeah. Very obviously, speaking in coded TV language of, I thought it was fun. We were just da da da. It was great. Like, and that means either fight me, bitch, or
Yeah,
like, let's make good TV.
yeah, yeah. So, let's see. We see. It's there's a missing doll. So season one, the entire cast referred to them as the voodoo dolls. We were told repeatedly they're not voodoo. They're just dolls. Just say dolls. Stop saying voodoo. And we're like, no, they're voodoo dolls. Look.
They look like voodoo dolls. It makes sense.
Yeah. So I don't know what the problem is with the voodoo aspect, but not allowed.
There must be some
Is
kind
voodoo
of
a
like, I
protected
was just
class
gonna
in
say,
$2024?
is it appropriation? Is it, I don't
Yeah,
know. Or
yeah,
is it like not gonna pass certain censors that are like anti witchcraft? Or I can't tell if it's like which way it is. If it's
yeah.
that you're
Well,
appropriating something.
I think it's as simple as production is just like we didn't make fucking voodoo dolls, so
Right.
stop calling them voodoo dolls.
Like, well, then don't make me that literally looks like voodoo dolls of you guys that after or when someone leaves, you do voodoo esque things too. I guess it would be during the show if it was going to be really a voodoo doll, but it is funny the way that some of them are sent off or treated after it. It's
Well,
voodoo esque.
Bobby Lights did things to Shake's voodoo doll every single day.
Oh, yeah,
Like
right. We do there.
he literally punched it. He
Deep
deep
throat,
throated it.
deep throating it. Yeah.
I mean, so, but there is a doll missing now. So please clarify: is the Camila
Yes.
doll missing, or is it the Larsa doll that's missing?
Okay. So they say, is Camilla's doll here? And Larsa says, I want my doll. But they said no because somebody's daughter plays with them, meaning the dolls in general. And then when they cut to it, they see a little girl in the stroller, and it is in fact Camilla's doll in the stroller that
Okay.
a producer's daughter is playing with. But Larsa's doll's also gone missing, I guess, because this little girl plays with that, like just in general, the dolls. But we see
Well,
Camilla's in the
you
stroller.
have to play with more than one doll at
Yeah,
one
maybe.
time, yeah, and shout out to producer Dave's daughter Rocky, her television debut, nailed the scene, and I understand this multiple doll thing, because many years ago, the WWE released their women's wrestler Barbie doll series, and my daughter at the time, she was like, "I want all of them," and so I got the Becky Lynch doll, and I got the Sasha Banks doll, and I get all these dolls, and and to complete the set, even though it wasn't requested, I got the Natalia Neidhart doll. And so my daughter would be like, "Hey, will you play dolls with me?" And I'm like, "Sure." I'm a good dad. So we're playing. She goes, "You can be Natty Neidhart. No one wants to be Natty."
Oh, it's funny. She's still like aware. I like how like that's how she rides. That she's like, I understand the wrestling thing. I know who's a villain. I know who's unimportant here.
Yeah.
And also
But
that you as a dad did understand why you need more than one doll. Well, sometimes
but
some
but
kids go one baby.
but here's the cool thing about that. So I filmed a video of us playing with dolls and her forcing me to be Natalia Neidhart because no one wants to be Natalia Neidhart. And I sent it to Natalia Neidhart or I tagged her on it, whatever. And Natty was just like, "You're the best and your daughter's the best. And I'm going to win her over right here. Fairplay, what's your address? I'm sending her an autograph picture."
That's awesome.
And my daughter started playing with the Natty Neidhart figure after that.
That's a great story. That is great.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
So,
so cute that she actually like cared about it and sent it there and was like, "Aw, like okay, maybe I'm not the most popular character, but
but
I
I
want this."
can be.
Yeah, like I want this little girl to like me, yeah, that's cute. Love it.
Yeah. So shout out Rocky on your debut. So sorry for stealing your thunder with me playing with Natty Neidhart figures. I don't know. I was so excited when they WWE made Barbie dolls because I'm just like it's my my daughter up until then had 38 Barbies and then one Ken. It's just like I was just like, wow, like it makes the Barbie movie make a lot more sense because it's just like, hey, we're all the same person.
Oh, look, this is my daughter has a giant dollhouse. It is almost as tall as I am, and there are more Barbies than I can count, and only one Ken.
Yep.
And there might be another dude in there now, maybe, but it's not Barbie related. It was like some other thing, but it's like Barbie-esque. But
Sure,
forever,
probably like a prince from Ariel or something.
it wasn't even. Yeah, it was something. Yeah, even more adjacent, even more out there than that. But like, yes,
GI Joe.
that's absolutely true. That there are like you'll have 27 Barbies in one Ken, and yeah, because you don't really care. Actually, when I was little, I had a bunch of Ken dolls, and then my friends would like make them hump and do whatever, and I was
Oh,
like,
wow.
but
So
before they even kind of understood what actually was happening, like
who's to say? The kids today. So
well, I'm like kids like 30 years ago, like 35 years ago. They were doing that. Now they probably call the cops. That's like
yeah,
normal. That's like normal for like kids to do once they start to get a little too old for the Barbies, and you start messing with them and being like, oh, they're humping, even if you don't really exactly know what that means.
sure. There we
I don't
go.
know why we're on this tangent about.
I threw us off the rails. So let's see. I didn't say it there. So I believe it's right here during or right before the conversation with New York and Teresa. New York is rocking these glasses.
Oh, I just noticed how skinny she was. I didn't even notice the glasses. Are those
Yes,
New York?
these are the exact same glasses New York has. Who my fiance saw New York wearing them during the premiere week when we're doing all the stuff press in Los Angeles, and my fiance was like, "I want these for Christmas," and I was like, "Then you can have these for Christmas." And she was like, "I don't know if I like that
In the
Louis
middle.
thing in the center," and I was just like, "We'll find out." So anyway, so I got them and Safari wears a variation of these on the hit list nomination.
Aha.
So so
That
yeah, so
New
I
York.
my
Influence.
fiance was literally getting ready earlier, and I was like, babe, look, is this your? And she was like, yes, those are. I'm like, I need them for the podcast. And she was like, do not mess up my glasses. I'm like, I bought them. She goes, they're mine now. It doesn't matter. So yes. So let me gingerly set them aside.
Yeah. I was noticing in that I know New York is a tiny person, but she has gotten so thin.
She looks
Um,
beautiful.
I know
So.
she looks the best she ever has. And I'm like, oh, she looks great, Jen. She's like, not that like it's almost like it's like me. Like if she gets any thinner, she's gonna start not looking great. She's gonna start to have be like a Q-tip pet. Like I'm starting to get really skinny too. I'm a little person, so I get that. But she's in that zone right now where you're like, you're really thin and you look amazing. But
Yeah,
like
yeah.
5 more pounds, you're gonna like blow away or fall down.
Oh well, they will attack you on Instagram. Don't worry, I'm following a friend right now that people are saying very mean things. So,
No, I'm saying that I think New York looks amazing, and I
yeah,
understand how
no.
it
I'm saying
is.
the 5 more pounds is when the mean things come. It's just like, hey,
No,
stop
what I'm saying is,
stop saying
my
mean
weight
things about
fluctuates.
my friends.
I'm not. My weight fluctuates a
No,
lot.
not
Like I
you. I'm saying people, not you.
no, I know what I'm saying. In my defense, as a person whose weight fluctuates a lot, like, and sometimes I can get chunky. I can be underweight. It's like all over the place and stuff like that. I know what it's like to like be like, ooh, and then to like be super psyched when you're super thin, but then take it like a little too far, then you just kind of like blow away in the wind.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. I like a little extra. That's personal preference. I'm just my my fiance is like, oh, I'm trying to get to here. I'm like, don't. So, it's okay. So well, we're in the stronghold, and it's Dexter style, and is a battle royale titled "Blood on Your Hands." We've
mhm.
seen I love the fact that House of Villains grabs these tried and true tropes that we've seen in reality television with different twists on them. And
Yes.
I thought Dexter was a good tool to do this tried and true trope of, pick read me or don't read me. Can I trick
It's
you? It's yeah,
it's also
yeah.
classic Battle of the Wits straight out of Princess Bride, with
Yes.
the goblets of wine and the poison and
Yes.
the whole speech about like, well, you clearly are a smart man, so you wouldn't put the poison in front of you, but you know that I would know that, so clearly I can drink the poison in front of me. It's a battle
Yeah.
of it's the scene is called a Battle of the Wits, and I immediately thought of Princess Bride with this because they actually do something where he like turns the glass. It just was very much of this. It's like poker, reading a poker face, but the wine and the blood just reminded me. I was like, oh, this is somebody. I think somebody here's a Princess Bride fan.
Yeah, yeah. So I loved it. It's Jonny Fairplay, reality TV icon, Survivor Hall of Famer, and I'm talking today about Work Money. Work Money is a non-profit organization that focuses on lowering costs and raising incomes for all Americans to make American life more affordable and American families more economically secure. They provide products, services, perks, benefits, tips, and tools to help members improve their financial lives. It's time to level up and make more money in this economy. We're talking getting rich. Now, this sweepstakes is giving away $50,000. You can use this to pay your rent, your mortgage. Imagine what you can do with all the money that you'll save. Now, this is put on by Work Money, and this site has all these sick benefits, and it's free. Go sign up right now and get more rich. Now, listen, you can change your life. Now, what would you do if you didn't have to pay your rent or mortgage for a year? Listen. Sign up right now for free. Link is available right here in the show notes. Check them out. Personally, I'd get more pinball machines. I'm Jonny Fairplay. I wouldn't lie about that. It's Work Money. More money. It's Victoria versus Larsa to begin. Victoria beats Larsa. New York is next versus Candy. New York loves blood. I think because we don't really get a lot of insight into who New York is as a person, because she
Yeah.
just literally just gives you these TV moments. And like when you actually like learn something about her, you're just like, wow, like because it doesn't really track with everything else we see about
Yeah.
like New York apparently loves Scooby-Doo. I would not think anything about Scooby-Doo when thinking
No.
about New York, but we learned that she loves Scooby-Doo.
Right.
And I wonder if she's allowed to say that on television. I'm like, I can't say voodoo, but you're, Scooby-Doo. Maybe it's the Doos. Yeah, I think New York is into blood stuff.
Possibly. I couldn't tell if that's New York being New York or New York,
Just
but
TV.
yeah, always creating the TV. Yeah. Or she really is into it. Or she just doesn't mind it. And
Yeah.
it's also fake TV.
Her and Jesse embraced it the most.
Yes. But it's Joel McHale goes out of his way to, because they love breaking the fourth wall. And they're not just saying it as a disclaimer. He's like, the fake made for TV blood, So them being
Yes.
squeamish about it is like, I love Jesse going over the top with it, but being squeamish about fake, it's like, why? Say you love it.
Yeah.
Try to win, but if you don't, who cares?
Yeah. So Jesse beats Safari. Teresa beats Wes, and we're told that he tells her before to give her the blood, to give him the blood.
Whispers to her. Yeah.
Yeah, not time for Wes to wield the power quite yet, because he's like, hey, if anyone but Candy gets the power, I'm fine.
Yes.
Candy beats Teresa. Jesse drops the bags and then just gives a bag to Victoria and has no clue which bag is which.
Yeah.
Like, we literally get a 3-part investigative discussion on whether Jesse knows which bag is the real blood and which is which is blood and which is plasma. And Jesse's like, yeah, I don't know.
No idea.
No idea.
Yeah.
Which
no strategy going there. But what's funny is that who was he playing against at that point? Was it
he's playing against Victoria.
Victoria, right. So I did the order of everybody. And Victoria isn't sure that he doesn't know. So she lays out her strategy for like him, but he's like looking at her like, I don't know.
Yeah. It's like, I love that you're saying all these words. But so Jesse literally dies from the blood, and Victoria takes a clear facial to the face. I don't know if you caught that.
That is something that you would notice more than I would.
Yeah.
You notice just details, I've realized.
Very, very, very distinctly different. I was just like, wow, did anyone? And I'm just like, yeah, I think they caught that. Well, it's Candy versus Victoria. Candy wins and immediately chooses Jesse and New York for the reward. So I think those are good choices if you're Candy.
Yeah, I think so too, because it's kind of like two people that could be independent and also like opposite sides of the house, a boy, a girl, since they've been doing that thing. So yeah, good choices.
Yeah. Well, I feel like with Jesse, Candy feels like they are still somewhat aligned, and she doesn't, Candy's not aware of the West New York alliance. And so she's like, well, maybe New York is a little more free agent that, it's just, once again, another friend to befriend if they do get eliminated, you're their friend with the vote on the wrong side of the votes going out of the house.
Yes. And it's definitely very key that Candy does not realize the West and New York alliance, because during this reward, the choice to take New York may have repercussions on the relationship between West and New York at some point. We'll get there.
We'll get there. So, it's the next morning. We have Butler Safari doing everything he can. And Candy's like, I want nothing to do with this. And it's like, more.
Yeah. I liked how Safari was playing it up, though. Like, even though Candy's like ignoring it, Safari's like bringing more things and doing more stuff. Yeah.
So no, it was cute. Well, at this point, gosh darn it, I of course move this. We see Wes has created an immunity pass at home much like Johnny Bananas, recycling the whole letters that he had a friend write for everyone going, didn't Bananas just write? No, I believe his friend Katie wrote those letters for him for I think Banana's sister wrote them on the challenge when he did the letters that he placed around the house. And then
Mhm.
for House of Villains, I think his sister wasn't available and he wanted a girl's handwriting. And so he had his friend Katie write them. And the insanity of this is it's like, I watch challenge seasons here, and I haven't watched every episode of the challenge, so I wasn't aware of this. But like, I am literally, while this is happening, talking to my friends at home, and like they do the challenge podcast on this network, Dan Monchel and Alex Trias. And if I had mentioned anything about these letters or whatever, they would be like, oh yeah, Bananas does that on the channel, like, it's Bananas.
Yes.
And but my thing was, and they're asking me watching, they're just like, why didn't you mention that? We would have told you. I was just like, because I knew production wasn't doing it. Production makes no reference to it, so I know that there's someone in the house doing it. I don't care.
Right. That's good. Well, you recognized it and realized it.
Yeah.
I mean, I do think Wes taking this and putting his spin on it, though, making like because he obviously didn't know about
The cock blocker or the knock blocker.
yeah. So this one's a little bit different, but decided like immunity style something, and to make it very vague or like not specific enough, because probably didn't know exactly, but just to make one and bring one in, I'm like, well, yeah, if you did watch season 1 and you realize that production's not going to stop you from doing villainous stuff like this because it's House of Villains, I would have brought in so much crazy shit like to confuse people, because that is one way to win, is to just have your people confused constantly. So
Yeah.
I was like, yeah.
I feel like there's a part of Wes when he saw the knock blocker, like, oh my God, they kind of ruined my shit because I had, and then I think the follow up to that is, well, actually, they kind of helped me because they established it.
It legitimizes it. And then
Yeah.
Candy lets us know that, because Candy, when
Has been looking for a
yeah,
hidden immunity.
oh my God, I've been looking for this exact thing, fake thing that is not real, that Wes totally made up and is presenting now as it's real.
Yeah. And that's the crazy thing, because like, for House of Villains to do one of these things, like with the knock blocker, like, one is like more than enough. We see on Survivor, the Beware Advantage, there's just so much of this, production manipulation. It's just like, look, if you have the correct cast, you don't need to rely on these production quote unquote tricks. And House of Villains does not. I mean, they have the perfect cast. They don't. So for them to do one, it's a good twist because that's what this style of show does. But check it off the list. Done. That's it. There's only one. And so, like, I think someone like myself or Wes or you, or a gamer type player, I think there's something in the back of your head going, this is House of Villains. Would they really do two twists like that? They're better than that.
I would think that, because the way Wes originally presented it was, Wes said, that's why he didn't want Candy to read the card. He said, would you be upset if I had something that allowed me to become the supervillain or replace the nominations and do that? Okay. My logic would be, if Wes and I aren't friends, it's established. If Wes really had this, Wes wouldn't need to come tell me, nor there's no save here, because if
Wes would have secured that you nominated him so he could fuck you on it.
Exactly. I'm like, that's the first thing I thought. I was like, this is because when Wes keeps going, oh, it's going to bite me in my butt, I think it's because Candy's immediately going to realize that this isn't like the way it was presented, at least initially, isn't, by the way, I have some safety, or I have immunity, or I have whatever.
Yeah, it is. I become supervillain and you're on the list.
If I can surprise you and redo this whole thing, so it would defeat the purpose of its existence to go to Candy, to go to somebody else in the house, maybe, but not Candy. So it's like,
you go to Safari. It's just like, make sure that I'm on the hit. Like, go to Candy and make whatever deal you need so that I'm on the hit list, so I can use the power and fuck over Candy. because I have to be nominated to use it is how it would allegedly work if it were to work.
If Wes brought that to me, I would know Wes was either full of shit because bringing it to me, or if Wes had said, I want you to nominate me so you don't get blood on your hands and then I can pull this thing out and I'm going to do it, then I might have fallen for it. Because I'd have been like, oh, that makes sense. But no, just I have it automatically as sus as hell because it's unnecessary and defeats the purpose of it.
Yeah. It was a lot. It was very convoluted. So, and Wes is so proud of himself, and I was just like, I feel like Bananas would have done this better.
Yeah, I mean, I get Wes went a little over the top. Like, this is the most villainous thing ever done on. The most villainous thing ever done was hilariously, in my mind, kind of like Bobby Lights putting himself up.
Yes.
Even though he has reasons for it, it was just so dramatic and so perfectly villain and so well executed that it's just like iconic. And I'm like, this is not iconic enough to be the most.
I think me sabotaging Jax was more iconic than this.
Yeah, there's way more villainous things done, but it is smart, especially because Candy is falling for it and not telling anyone else about it. So I'll give Wes points for accurately assessing that there might be people there that aren't big gamers that he could fool and that he could use this to confuse and that they might not go to other people, because I'd be like, I would tell somebody, especially if Candy's completely alone and not sure. I'm like kind of confounded how Wes is getting away with so much on this. I'm like so far.
Yeah, and Candy's like, does it expire? And I'm just like, oh my god, like the hook is inserted at this point, and then of course Wes has to show that he's cool and he's like, hey, were you gagging? Did I I'm just like, oh, stop with the cool kid lingo.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like when everyone in season 1, they're just like, I'm about that bag, and I'm just like, yeah, I'm about $200,000. That's where I'm about. like that bag, like I'll use $200,000 to buy my fiance a Louis Vuitton bag, but I'm not about that bag.
I don't even think the kids are saying that anymore. Fair play.
No cap.
No cap.
Well, as long as Wes had a brat girl summer, we're okay. All right. Yeah. It's time for the reward, and this is a break room. It's Break Room LA. It is a rage room.
Yeah.
I don't care for these.
I only care for it on the dating shows because they've brought some of them on like the Love is Blind or those things where they're mad at their partner and stuff like that. But on this one, I don't know. I don't care for it. I don't get it. I don't need it. It's only been amusing when I've seen someone who's gotten like their heart really broken that needs to get it out, do it. But other than that,
yeah, I don't need like I really like not breaking stuff like that. Like like when I break something, I'm just like, oh my god, that sucks. And and it's just like, oh, but it's not yours, and you get to release, and I'm just like, no. Once again, I just prefer not breaking stuff. And like the only way I see it's beneficial in my life in any way, or could have been, it's not now. Like let's just say I was single and I was looking for a partner, and and I take a girl, like it's just like, I like this girl, but there's a couple red flags. Let's go to a break room and see how she does. And if she's like yelling stuff about her father, and and I'm just like, whoa. But other than that, I feel like in my life a rage room is pretty worthless.
You don't have any inner hidden rage that needs to come out.
No, I get it out.
No, see, I don't.
I mean, but not in a ragey way. I'm just like,
who has no desire to go in a rage room and do that, and probably needs it more than anyone else in this world. Like, I need to be taken into there and told, get effing angry and break stuff and physically discharge that out of your body somatically. So like you're not like sad, because I'll just get like sad or nothing. But things I should get really mad about, I don't. So there's probably some repressed I'm just saying, I'm a person who needs the rage room, but also doesn't get it and wouldn't use it. But like, probably should be forced to go to one.
Yes. So I know in the history of House of Villains, the rewards have been hit and miss, and I feel like this one was a miss. So and for the like which I love the Top Golf one, and like Hatch was like, yeah, like who cares about? I'm like, I do.
And I
So
wanted your sound bath.
yeah, the sound bath. I'm like, oh my god, it's the worst day of my life, and you're just like, oh my god, I need to send you that sound bath thing. You can do the gimmick on the show. It'd be great.
Oh
That's
my
how
god.
we'd start the show with the.
Ooh, I will do. I love playing with them. Like I've done sound school. I want to play with them. I will start us off with a cleansing of House of Villains. Like I'm obsessed with that.
Do
So
you not have a sound thing, a sound bowl?
no, I have like this one pan thing, and I had another Tibetan little bowl, but no, I don't have one right
Shoot me a
now.
message after this, and with your address, I will send tomorrow. I will send you the sound bowl from House of Villains.
Awesome, and we can have a
Yeah.
little House of Villains ceremony for people that is not voodoo, just a
Yeah.
ceremony.
No, heaven forbid, not allowed to be. So, all
Also,
right.
Russ, we want people to send to the break room because Jesse's already a wrestler. We know, yay. New York is just going to play it up. She gets out whatever she wants to say. And like
Yeah.
maybe Candy, but can't like it just doesn't.
It doesn't hit.
No.
Yeah, I mean, like they come back, they're like, we went shopping. It's like, no, you went to a rage room. It's like, yeah, we went to a rage room.
Yeah.
So,
And also, I want to hear from Talk Strategy.
yeah. So, but while they're at the rage room, Larsa reveals that she has. I'm sure you wrote this down. What is her condition?
Oh, when they were back. Okay, so while the reward is going on back at the pool, Teresa, Larsa, and Victoria are laying out at the pool, and she says, "Let me get to where I specifically wrote this
Victoria is
down."
in a very nice bikini. I would like
I was
to
waiting to see it.
commend Victoria on her bikini choice.
Her ass looked amazing.
Yeah.
Yes. Hold on.
And Victoria, for those of you wondering, Victoria's OnlyFans is back up and running.
Is it okay?
Yeah. Oh, did I not tell you that? I did research for the show. It is back. I did not become a member, so she has lots of leaks out there. Girl, tighten up your ship.
Maybe she's doing that on purpose to try to get people to go to it.
Oh yeah, you see a little bit, and then you want a little bit more.
Yeah, like a little tease to be like, "Hey, I'm here." Okay, she says, "I have." This is what Larsa says. I did a study, an unspecific study in Scotland.
Oh, well, that's where you go. Well, how does she remember where she went?
Right. Well, it's because I have short-term memory deficit syndrome.
Yes.
There's a term actually, short-term memory loss. Like, so I don't. I should have looked it up to see if this is actually a thing anywhere. But like, you don't. Why would you need to do a study in Scotland? They just call it short-term memory. It's just like her. Is she just saying like, if you tell me something I won't remember it, or I can pretend I don't remember? But I love Victoria's answer. I hope you get well soon.
Yes. Victoria is over all of this. So Victoria leaves again. She pretends to read a book. God bless her. So, have you seen all the memes of LeBron James? LeBron James loves to pretend reading a book, and in every single picture of him pretend reading a book, he's always in the first 10 pages of the book.
Oh, it's so funny.
Every single book, every single time, he's 10 pages deep pretending to read a book.
Oh my God, that's hilarious. I'll now notice that. I'll now notice that on that meme, and then every iteration of that. And now, obviously, Victoria, we need to see how many pages deep to see if this is real, or if she's just trying to not fight with Larsa.
I think she's reading about driving violations in the state of Florida. I think
obviously not
like code violations, which is she will not make the same mistake twice.
No,
she will remember. She does not suffer from short-term memory deficient syndrome.
And the made-up thing that you can only get the test for in Scotland, I guess.
Sure.
Hey, Larsa.
Yes. So it's now time for the dining portion of the reward. And we learned that Jesse is from Canada.
Oh my God, this is all right. So this is obviously, there's no way. I would believe that New York probably could not point to Iowa on a map.
Correct.
it is New York making great TV by saying, is that a state or a country? Because New York knows Iowa is a state. So chef's kiss to New York. But
Sure.
then the reaction from Jesse of not realizing that it's just for TV and being like, and then even better, that Candy has no
No.
clue where Iowa is and starts trying to explain, and then doesn't realize where
Is that
Florida
the state that has the extending arm and touches three other states? And Jesse's like, yeah, that's Florida. It's like it's beside Florida.
like, okay, New York setting up great TV by like pretending she doesn't know if Iowa was a country, leading to Candy revealing that Candy doesn't even know what Florida is or like anything on the map is so hilarious that I was like, I'm like, New York's like the MVP this season. She's just setting stuff. I like the throwing alley oops for everyone
she's an infield producer.
Exactly. And it's like they don't even realize they don't need to take them or not. Because if they don't take them, New York just stole the show by saying it is a country or not. And if the other person is either dumber or more clueless or engages or does something, then she's just kept it going. So it's like she really isn't putting herself in these win-wins. And Jesse, who's playing the dumb person there, explains geography to them. And I'm like, that's actually goddamn hilarious.
Yeah. I God bless Jesse. I like, you would think Jesse would know better to attempt a geography lesson. Yeah. But the fact that he did, and he's sitting there like, what am I doing? And I'm just like, God bless you for trying, sir. I mean,
I like that it's half-hearted though, because he's like clearly frustrated. He's like, there are states that look like that, but those are not near Iowa. Like it's just it's
well, the Iowa, the potato state. So
that's true.
I do have a friend. Shout out Jason Powell, Pro Wrestling Boom podcast. You can join me every podcast every Monday after a WBPLE or AEW pay-per-view. I joined Jason Powell on the Pro Wrestling Boom podcast. He is pretty strongly convinced. He does understand geography but he's pretty strongly convinced that Iowa doesn't actually exist.
The Iowa's that it like it's like the moon landing or something.
It's just like no one knows anyone from Iowa. No one goes to Iowa.
I mean, there's the Iowa caucus, which is a big deal. They do a lot of their polling, which that's
politics. That's in a studio. Who's to say that's real?
Always wrong. So maybe there is no Iowa.
Yeah. So I don't know. So I know there's corn there. I actually did an appearance in Iowa at a biker rally.
I'm trying to think if I've ever driven through Iowa. I've never like gone there as a destination, but I've been to the Midwest and through the Midwest. And I'm trying to think, have I ever been to Iowa? That would be like incredible if your friend has this one random theory that there is no Iowa, and we find out there's no Iowa.
There is no Iowa. Who's to say? Let's see. Going back to my notes, Victoria in a bikini.
That's pretty much most.
Candy is.
Notice that you have been way more forgiving of Victoria than you would be of other people making mistakes or being annoying or not always gaming correctly, because Victoria has a very good body.
That doesn't track for me. I mean, I am very, very loose with the rules. I don't mind, sloppy gameplay.
Nope, you wouldn't pick somebody apart for just saying the slightest thing. Nope, you didn't just dismantle entirely why Wes has not put the most villainous move up there, explained Bananas and his previous moves, had many discussions about them, discussed what you would have done, and then talked about that in depth and criticized that. If Wes had Victoria's body,
oh yeah,
you don't care about that stuff at all.
Well, if Wes had Victoria's body and his face, it still would be a no-go. Oh, I mean, he literally. I mean, like, I have my Thanksgiving tree up now, but and I'm not celebrating Thanksgiving till December 1st. But as soon as my Christmas tree is up, I'm watching Rudolph and Yukon Jack. I mean, that's Wes. It's just that guy with that big, ugly red beard, and that's. It's almost like, I almost think it's fake at this point.
Wes has looked like that though, except for like the non-bearded, skinnier, but same exact West like head, but like same since like the Real World all the way up. Yeah, I get it.
I mean, it's a bad look.
What is he gonna do? He's being like doing like Ginger Lumberjack, I guess, trying to do that.
I
I don't.
know. I think he could do just a tight beard and grow his hair out a little bit. I think
I
that'd be
think
a much better look.
I think he actually like if he got like almost like even though everyone it's very iconic to him and may some people know that like Andrew Schultz, Andrew Schultz's haircut like they kind of make fun of because he has almost like the like Hitler Youth but in his own weird way like of that.
Sure.
Like I think Wes if he dappered it up the way he does that would be
Yeah.
such a contrast to whatever that it would actually look really good.
Yeah. So,
Like Wes
yeah,
should do like a hipster haircut. Either the side, well, Andrew Schultz does it to the side, but there's a
yeah.
haircut where they push it back like that,
Yeah.
and you kind of like shave to keep the sides tight. And I do think that would
It would be an
yeah,
upgrade. It'd be an
yeah,
upgrade. Wes, we're trying to
shave
help.
and haircut, Wes. Yeah.
Shaving a haircut. But let's
True.
see. So Candy is vague about the West shakedown, and Jesse, who is just like, look, I don't know what's happening here. I'm kind of deciphering the code. It's tough, coming from a place that doesn't exist like Iowa. But as a true Canadian, I think you should get proof about this alleged power.
Yeah, the only person to actually suggest it. What does he say? Did you actually? What does he say? Did you see it? Or Jesse is? Because they won't. So Candy never says what anyone has. Just says that there's a reason or a thing, and then Jesse's like, "Is there a way to something that effective like confirm this thing
Sure.
or what? And it's the first time the idea goes into Candy's head that Candy didn't even really look at it or examine it, think about it. Yeah.
Yes. So thank goodness Jesse's here. And so Candy's like, wait a second, I want to read that letter. And so Candy gets back from her shopping excursion or the, lame rage room. And Wes explains, she's like, hey, let me see the letter. It's like, well, I had the letter, but let me just say, I kind of lied at what the actual power was.
Yeah. Which again doesn't make any sense because what the actual power was would have made more sense to tell Candy if he was in that position. I'll move on from that.
Yeah. So no, I'm with you. So Eva, the evil voice assistant, the voice of the intercom system of the house, Eva 2.0, says get ready for the hit list ceremony, and it's like, hey, by the way, do I sound familiar once again? And Teresa's like, why does this chick keep asking? I only watch Real Housewives shows. I don't know who this person is.
It's amazing to me that they aren't asking each other at least like, okay, this obviously means something for one of us, like let's think about it. They're just all like,
I think they are, and I think just the joke is Teresa, who should know more than anyone else, is just like, yeah no.
Or Larsa too, though. But more than anyone, Teresa, because Teresa is an OG, been there forever. So it is funny that Teresa's like, no. And like, why are you asking us this?
Larsa may have figured this out by now. We're on episode 7.
Larsa's a smart cookie, so maybe.
She's good. I mean, for, what is, according to Victoria, she's what, 50 or 60? I think she looks great.
She says she's 20 years older than me, so.
Wow, shots fired.
That is shots fired.
When Sandra shot the first shot, Sandra on Traders was just like, she's like the same age as me, and I look so much younger than her, and I was just like, wow. Like, if you have $2 million like Sandra, you must have funhouse mirrors that think you look better than Larsa.
You know what? In a way, I get that, though, because it's like, sometimes when you've had a lot of work done, again, I have no problem with work. Like, please, yes, I will get a facelift. I will get my nose done. I will get, I would like, yes.
Oh, yeah. My fiance has the list. We're just knocking them out one at a time. This week, we've been preparing for this moment. We did microblading.
Okay.
And lip. We did the lip blush tattoo, and then the microblading eyebrows.
I had microblading 7 years ago and it went away and I really wanted to get it. It's amazing. And now it's gone, but it does totally like microblading is amazing. But I want like a little.
She had microblading before and went for 4 sessions to remove the previous microblading to do the new microblading.
That's why I'm nervous about getting again, because that 7 years ago when I got it, I knew where I was going. I was like, like I had a referral to one. Now I'm like kind of shooting in the dark here, and if it does get screwed up, exactly, like
Yeah.
spend more
So,
time.
well, I got a girl in Raleigh, North Carolina for you.
All right,
Well, a
amazing.
doctor, I guess, not a girl.
But this is the thing I wanted to say with Larsa though. So like sometimes though you can tell when someone's had work done and it's not bad work because Larsa's still beautiful. People are obviously very attracted to her still. But
She's
then
beautiful. She's beyond beautiful.
but then it becomes mystery age because it becomes, are you 30 something or are you 70 and look amazing, or are you 40 or are you, and like
Yeah.
it's when you've had the same nose job and the same little bit of filler, and I'm not criticizing it because I want all the stuff, like I'm gonna get all the
Sure.
stuff, but
Yeah.
sometimes when you're at an age where like
50 is that age where you're like, are you really 30 and you look, or are you really 65?
when you get work done and you're at that age, and it's sometimes when it's that similar work, there's like a certain look that you kind of going for, almost like the Kardashian kind of like
Yeah.
look, and you're at about 50. It works for you and against you because Larsa's still hot, but then
Yeah.
also you don't know if this person's 30 or looks amazing for 70 or is 50. So that's,
Yeah.
I think, could have been why Sandra might have just looked at Larsa, and because Sandra's so like natural and has nothing done, doesn't wear makeup, doesn't do it,
Sure.
looked at that and just thought like, I don't need that, or I'm not doing that. I look better because you look like possibly good for 70. I think Larsa looks hot, but I'm just trying to
I think she's beautiful. I mean, it's difficult for me because I'm just like, how does anyone just not look at Larsa and be like, wow, she's just hot? And apparently,
Larsa reminds me of the
girls are like, no, let me tell you everything wrong, and I'm
no
just like,
meme. It's nothing. It's just this. It's the meme that shows a before and after of Kylie Jenner, and it says you're not ugly, you're just poor.
yeah, there you go.
That's what it reminds me of, because it's like, when someone's had a lot of work, I'm not judging it, but
Yes.
it does sometimes make you go, what do you look like? Because it's not just a lot of work, it's the trend. You know what it is? It's the work that's on trend right now. So if you have all of it done at once, you start to look like an algorithm of people.
Sure.
That's what when I see her, I do think she looks good, and I have nothing against this stuff, but I'm also like, I wonder what you look like. If that makes sense.
Okay. I got you. So, well, Victoria's getting ready for the hit list ceremony, and she is not wearing a dress. She is choosing to wear lingerie, and bold choice cotton. I'm for it. I am very for it.
We know.
I think we're going to look back at this season and possibly refer to Victoria as a strategic genius, perhaps. Who's to say?
Maybe. I mean, halfway through, Victoria does say, I'm thinking about starting my OnlyFans again, and has an incredible body, is laying out with a little thong up her butt, is now dressing in lingerie on the TV. So maybe this is strategic genius, because she said she made the most money in her life ever that way. So like, I'm here for it. If that's what she's teasing and using this as an advertisement for it, that's, God bless. That's great.
Oh, I was just saying that, so it just didn't come off as superficial as I feel that I really am, and I just think, wow, yeah, girl, wear that lingerie. So fair enough.
Oh no, we knew that, because we just had a discussion about how you'll ignore any strategy or gameplay that Victoria's doing. Once Victoria, you can see boobs or bikini or that, or plasma splash on her face. It all goes out the window.
Everything, yeah. But I will throw that shout out Safari. Safari to the heading to the hit list nomination ceremony he's rocking some off-white UNC Jordan 1s. Now, I do not have those. Those are like I have a couple personal grails. Those are a personal grail I have not gotten yet. They run about 1,500. So I do have the UNC Jordan 1s, just the regular issue, and I do have the off-white Air Force 1s. So what Safari is rocking is literally a mix between the two.
Oh, that's the hybrid of that. I like that.
Yeah.
I kind of get the sneaker culture thing. I liked it. I knew some people in LA that were heavily into it, and a guy who had a shop, and the people that would wait on long lines for it. And I actually spent a picture of me on Instagram. I'm drinking a 40 with a dude I know and a bunch of dudes I met that night that are sleeping overnight to get a bunch of pairs of shoes. And I was like reporting on it, basically wanted to know more about it. So I ended up staying up all night with them. And then of course, then I was like, this is actually kind of cool. I get it. Like, I like it.
Sure.
Yeah.
Like literally, we were talking. Before we went live, and I got an alert from the Nike sneakers app, and it was like, hey, because I buy so many, Jordans and stuff. It's just like there's gonna be a shock drop, like the new Jordan 3 black cements come out on Saturday. But here, since I buy so much, we're going to do a shock drop. You have an invitation, and I could have bought them, earlier today, and I'm looking on StockX. I'm just like, okay, they sell for $220. They're currently selling for $350 or for $258. If I were to buy them, not love them, and resold them, that's literally break even, is the $258 after StockX fees and all that. And I'm just like, and I was just like, all right, what Jordan 3s do I currently have in my closet? And I looked, and I'm like, oh, I already have just the black. I'm like, I'm good. But I literally went through all of that during our pre-show strategy session.
So, all right, that's what you're up to.
Yeah, we're accidentally hung up on you, like trying to press the button for StockX,
which is fine because I had to pay, so it worked out.
Yes. So all right, it's the hit list, and first up on the hit list is Safari, and Safari retorts in his confessional that revenge is a dish best cold served.
Yeah. Almost.
Bless him. So close. So close. And that's the beauty. If I'm on Survivor, well, maybe not Survivor. If I'm on most shows and I say that, they're gonna be like, it's served cold.
Right.
Like,
so you can say it, yeah.
Yeah.
On this one, living for them not getting a very common saying correctly.
Yeah, this is the House of Villains bread and butter in the edit room, is please have a quote you've heard 1,000 times incorrectly said, and we're
either let it go, or we're gonna have audio of the producer telling you what the right thing is, and then you still not understanding it like 10 times.
Yeah, still getting it wrong.
So fun. Yes.
Yeah. So I'm here for it. Victoria's next. Big fan. Larsa next, also a big fan. And Larsa explains that Victoria says that she's going to send Larsa home. And Larsa replies, at least she has a home, because Victoria doesn't have a home. And Victoria also doesn't have a dress, hence she's wearing lingerie. And Victoria says she does have a dress, but at least her dresses look better than the dresses Larsa's brought. And Joel is here to support Victoria's desire to wear underwear in public. And Joel, I am here for you and your mission statement.
Yes. It was a very bold choice by Victoria. And also, Larsa was wearing like a bright silver bodysuit, like unitard thing.
Like her version of the Oscars, but in silver and not gold.
Yeah, I mean, I have some of those kind of for fun, like workout stuff, but it was just kind of funny on Larsa because she was making it. It looked weird. It almost looked like a punishment on Big Brother to wear it. Like the
the unitard, like whatever
I was like, that's hilarious that Larsa is making fun of Victoria for wearing like the lingerie, which does look good on her, and had the coat and kind of was a little bit more elegant than usually Larsa is very well dressed and has like some good style and care. So it was like it was a funny moment where Larsa actually kind of lost. Like,
I think Victoria is very good at shopping at Shein.
Yes. Oh yeah. Oh, totally. Like, yes.
Yeah. So whereas Larsa is going to spend
$600
ridiculously thousands more, but it's she's just buying a label.
But like, you basically, like, what is American Apparel now is called LA Apparel, that unitard type thing she has is like $36 there, but she probably spent $3,600, and it's like, somebody's, so God bless, you can do that too. But this is definitely a battle of Shein versus like Drive or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. No, my fiance, she lives. I like literally. If she's on her phone smiling, it has nothing to do with me, and
Shan,
she is literally filling her Shein
hard.
cart, and she has explained Shein has raised their prices on some things.
So much. Oh, it
So
is outrageous.
but at the same time, my fiance still doesn't wear it. Like even if she doesn't wear it. Like if she wears it twice, she's done.
Yeah. It's just sort of for like a trendy little thing. And by the way, people that are, if anybody dares to get on this and says Shan has, all their practices are bad and their factories have been caught, whatever.
Yeah.
So I know about like drop shipping and some of the fact. If you purchase something on Amazon, it is made in the same factories as the Shein stuff. If it's coming from China, it has a name.
And that Amazon box is in front of your house every day, girl. So
If
stop.
you go on Shein and look up like the top 10 selling things, or even find your favorite thing you like and do a Google image search for it in shopping, you will find it on Amazon. You will find it in people's boutiques. You will. So do not Shein shame people if you use Amazon. If you do, unless you're weaving your own stuff or like, I don't even know what to say. Sorry.
Yeah.
I
No
posted
no one wants a crochet dress.
Yeah,
Relax.
I posted a picture of 3 different bikinis saying which one, like, should I buy? And then somebody recognized it from Shan and was like, Shan. And people like flipped out. It's on my Instagram. You'll see it like, these from Shan. How dare you, Shan? Whatever. And I was like, I probably have to go buy it in person. And that's only because my boobs are much bigger than my bot. So I was like, I'll just get 2 because they're cheap. But so I was like, I might not actually get it from Shan because I know this is what this is a dupe of. But at the same time, I also was like, what you probably have Amazon Prime. What have you purchased from Amazon?
Yeah. I think you and Victoria need to hang out, go bikini shopping, maybe make a reel. I don't know.
Maybe.
Maybe. Who's to say?
She gets paid for that now, though.
Well, great. She. I think she needs a
I don't think
friend.
there's anything wrong with that. Oh my! Look, I would. I think OnlyFans is a beautiful thing and a great thing for the women and the men and the theys and whoever else, anybody who uses it. I'm like, amazing, love it. So that was not an insult that she gets.
No, I was talking to a very famous person on Tuesday of this week, and they were just like, holy shit, if I were 10 years younger, I would fucking live on I would create an OnlyFans and live on there.
I think about that myself too. Like,
and I'm just like, you can, girl, you can now. Relax.
I had like a sexually suggestive Tumblr 15 years ago that had some photos that were just photos I found and curated. It was called Curated Life. And then I would put in ones that were like me as Easter eggs and do whatever. And then it had 100,000 subscribers, it had views, it would hit the top page. And I'm like, 15, like when that was happening, if OnlyFans existed, I might have done something similar because I didn't even have to be so overt and it was getting lots of, so I was like, be overt as you want, but I was like, you don't even have to.
No. Oh, what's the woman from The Sopranos? Christopher Moltisanti's girlfriend, Andrea.
Andrea de Matteo.
Yeah, I mean she's killing it on OnlyFans and she's not showing anything. So she has her son editing her pictures.
Yeah. God bless.
God bless. So all right, well, so our 3 nominees are Safari, Victoria, and Larsa because Candy fell for the ruse by Wes. Candy, come on, girl. And next time on House of Villains, it appears they're going back to the comedy club. Now, I loved the comedy club the last time. What was Shake versus Bananas versus Bobby Lights. Like these are 3 people for 3 very different reasons. Are like if I could pick my dream team of who could be there, that, like other than maybe I think I'm kind of funny sometimes. But for those of you that disagree, that's fine. I agree with you too. So, but I think those 3 were great. Like Shake's not funny and is funny at not being funny.
Yeah.
Bananas is going to bananas it, and Bobby Lights is just going to Bobby Lights it. So it all is what it is. Safari, Victoria, and Larsa. I feel like production's just like, wow, should we switch the next channel? Like this is this who we want on a comedy channel, or does it work because it is literally three fish out of water?
Go full roast since you really hate each other and
Yeah,
be just a Ruth. Like, have you ever seen a roast before? Do a roast and find a way to make your jokes hit so people are laughing because they're funny but true. Treat it like a
yeah.
roast. Get up there and then just roast your other two people because there is some animosity there, but don't just say dumb digs to be mean. Find any way to make it clever or funny because it's true or hidden or an interesting twist on the normal mean thing you'd say to them, and you will win. This would be a good group of three because Safari can be very bitchy and Larson and Victoria hate each other. So like they
Okay.
just need to give it as like a roast. But I don't know if they will. But
I don't
so
know.
I'm
I don't know.
hoping.
I'm a little worried for Victoria on this one. So I know she's a strategic genius based on everything I say about her gameplay, but I feel like she might be a little over her head.
Maybe, but if Larsa just goes mean and it's not funny,
Yeah, mean and not funny is not funny.
exactly. So we'll see. I don't know.
Yeah. So and so much of this, you have someone like myself or a Wes or an Omarosa that when you're watching this, and if it could be a completely different channel, but if it is similar to last time, you're not picking the funniest answer. You're strategically figuring out who wrote what and what benefits your game, and that's
Yeah,
what Wes is going to be doing right here, big time.
right.
So maybe not the rest of the I don't think Teresa is going to go with the funniest line.
Well, assuming it's still the same format and that's what they're going to do, and assuming
Yeah.
people watched the show and paid attention last time, then you would strategically try to write something that you would think that the people that want the person to win the most or without, like, you'd be strategic about what you write that way. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
but
So,
I
like,
don't know. I don't know if we have the three people that could do that.
no, I don't know. We'll see.
Which is great. And so the more I think about it, this, might be the perfect challenge for these three people on the hit list.
Yeah, it could be really good. But again, is it the
We don't even
same?
know if it's the same gimmick or not.
Yeah, we don't know.
Yeah,
We'll find
so
out.
we will. All right, Jenn Hoffman, where can everybody find you?
On Instagram and I guess TikTok, Jenn Hoffman Hi HI. And also me and Rachel Riley doing Reality Queens at right here on the Reality After Show, youtube.com/after show, usually on Fridays.
Yeah. Are you on Blue Sky yet?
No, I just found out what that was like a few days ago.
Yeah, I'm so many people are just like, hey, like I'm leaving Twitter, I'm going to be on Blue Sky, and I'm like, okay, and I go over to Blue Sky, and like there's literally like no action over there, but it's not hate fueled like Twitter is. So I'm just like, I guess,
Yeah.
I don't know, I just feel like Blue Sky is the next Threads.
That's what I was gonna say. I was just gonna say it's like being on Threads, and the only reason I signed up is just because I had to push a button on Instagram. But if I had to do
Yeah,
anything besides that, I wouldn't have gone. So I'm
yeah.
like, now maybe it'll become the biggest thing, or maybe whatever. But I can't take it anymore. I'm like, I don't care.
Yeah, I'm kind of over it too. So, well, I'm at Jonny Fairplay on Instagram, X, and Facebook.com/Jonny Fairplay. On TikTok, I'm at Fairplay Talk. That's Fairplay TOK. I am also Survivor is still. I don't know when it fucking ends. Survivor is doing this Cameo is doing a Survivor contest with the greatest survivors ever, or I guess any survivor ever, and whoever gets the most cameos in whatever month. And out of 280 survivors, I'm number 5 right now.
Yeah.
Which, hey, fucking people in casting, when you're casting season 50, instead of giving someone a quote unquote second chance, how about giving people the people that they want to fucking see? So because 22 years later, I am number fucking 5 out of every available. I'm number 5, and like number 6 is literally on the fucking show right now.
Yeah, you know what? This is like the best argument ever of why you should actually be on Survivor, because most people would be like saying, I'm number 5, I'm doing this. And you have talked about what you'll do in a video, but being like, yeah, I'm doing so well. I make amazing videos. Like, let me make more for you, which I know you want, but you want to play Survivor again. Like, you love Survivor. So before promoting your cameo, like you or like, this shows that the fans like, hey, Jeff Probst, get over whatever and just put me back on Survivor.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm
Yeah,
serious.
well, I don't think it's a Probst problem. I think it's a, you know, they're just like, hey,
I
what
shouldn't have
about
said that.
second chance for season 15?
If I just made it a Probst problem, then it
Sure.
becomes a Probst problem.
Listen, I have a Jeff Probst rookie card right here. I am a
And you include him in your cameos, and not even in a mean way. It's because he's
I
he's
don't.
iconic to the show too. So yes, that came from me, not from Jonny.
There we go. Well, it's cameo.com/Jonny Fairplay. But if you need the links to everything that I have going on, go to JonnyFairplay.com. There's no H in Jonny. It's JonnyFairplay. JonnyFairplay.com. Get yourself Cameo. Get yourself whatever. And for this podcast or broadcast, please like, subscribe, leave a comment. All that stuff makes a huge difference to the invaluable algorithm. We talked algorithm earlier with Larsa Space. So yes, help the algorithm. Leave a comment, give a like. If you don't like, who cares? It still helps. Just say something. So, but just, I mean, if you're gonna go through the trouble, say something nice. Come on, it's 2024. We gotta. You know, Bobby Lights has his own popper brand out. Be nice, everybody. So yeah,
right. That means anything's possible.
Yes, thank you. And if you guys do not like commercials, and I understand that, no one likes commercials. I hate commercials. I literally pay $2 a month for Dateline on my fucking Apple Podcast. Go to realitypatron.com. That's realitypatron.com. And at any price level, I think it starts at $5. You get all of these podcasts and broadcast and audio and video, all these commercial free. So yes, go to realitypatron.com. It's the best way to support this show. And with that, thank you, Jenn Hoffman. Thank you, everybody. I'm Jonny Fairplay. Goodbye.